What's up, YouTube? This is going to be our guide on how to use Zamazenta and Zamazenta Crown in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, let me know about in the comment section. If you enjoy these series and these videos help you, drop a like on the video and let's get into it. So today I thought we'd cover a couple of legendary Pokemon. There's quite a few of them out there. And we're going to go over 3 sets with the crown and the non-crown, and then some sort of fun sets and maybe some counters and some teammates and stuff like that. So, obviously, Zamazenta, I'd say personally the crown probably wouldn't be used as much as the non-crown one, but I'll show you some sets that I thought up for it. So, a move that's very, very nice on Zamazenta Crown is Body Press. It actually gets it, which is really a bread and butter move for it, because as you know, with the Rusted Shield attached there, changing into the Crown form, that's going to give it the extra boost with its stats. And we've also got Dauntless Shield, giving it a +1 in defense, which is going to be very, very good for Body Press. Now, overall, its stats are very, very good. Of course, as a legendary Pokemon, it's got a big defense stat, which is great for Body Press. Big special defense stat, pretty good health, even good attack and good speed as well. So all around, it's pretty nice, bar special attack. Now, the first set I've got here is like a Rest Sleep Talk set with Iron Defense and Body Press. So straight away, I know that it is countered by Ghost-type Pokemon. So on your team, you need to have something to deal with the Ghost-type. So whether that be an opposing Dark-type, Ghost-type Pokemon, anything like that would be working. There's so many of them. Or you could swap it up, maybe put Behemoth Bash on there instead. But anyway, for the purposes of this set, I've got max health and max special defense. Now, you can run a Body Press and Iron Defense set a couple of ways. If you want to run it a little bit slower and bulky, this is sort of the build that you go for. So we've got Careful Nature, and we've got dropping the special stat because we're not using that. So we've got a very, very nice special defense stat. This is going to allow you to live a lot of powerful special moves like a Fire Blast, and with max health and max special defense, you're going to be very, very bulky. And even with no EVs in speed, 128 base is still pretty good. Now, if you don't want to do that, you sort of want to be able to go first and get your Iron Defenses up quickly. That's fair enough too. What you can do is you drop all that special defense and then you give it max speed, and then I would probably give it Jolly there. So you can give Jolly, and that actually gives it a lot more speed. So this allows you to get the Iron Defense boost up very, very fast. And then as you get more of them up there, it's going to be more powerful on Body Press, because, you know, obviously the more defensive stats you get, you're going to be doing that. I don't know why that's 31, but yeah, you've got already a base of 140 there, so you don't really need to do any investment like this. There's not really much point. I would either go max speed or max special defense. That would be my EVs. Whether I'm running a Zamazenta crowned or normal non-crown set. So we've got Rest and Sleep Talk. Rest is great to just rest off any, like a burn or something, or a paralysis, anything like annoying like that. It's great. And then you got Sleep Talk as well. If you want to drop Sleep Talk and you want to give it something to do apart from that, you can just give it Behemoth Bash, or you could give it Heavy Slam as well. So there are a couple of options there. Say you've got like a Ghost type and you want to do a bit of damage to it. You can't hit it with Body Press, and you know it's kind of walling you. You can beat the rest of the team with the Iron Defense Body Press. You could give it one of these moves here. Either Heavy Slam or Behemoth Bash would be my sort of options there to go for it. They're both pretty good moves. For sure. So that would be how I'd run Zamazenta Crowned. You can run it as a physical sweeper too, so you've got like a bulky Body Press Iron Defense set. I've got also on the first one, I've got Terra type fighting, obviously, because we want to, you know, increase the power of Body Press even more. So that's the set I'd run for the Crowned, for Iron Defense Body Press or Rest Sleep Talk or Behemoth Bash. If you got anything else to add to that or any of these sets, of course, I always love to hear about in the comment section. So this set is more geared around being a physical sweeper, so rather than relying on its big defensive stat, we're going to be using its attack. Now, the funny thing is, even if you've got max attack, it's only a little bit better in its attack than defense, so you could still run Body Press on this if you'd like, and I'll explain why I'm doing that as well. So we've got Behemoth Bash, which is a great move. It's steel, physical, 100 base power, 100% actually, no drawbacks there, no missing, which is great. I've got Stone Edge on there. Stone Edge is great for fire-type Pokemon, flying-type Pokemon, those sort of things there. Mainly fire types that come in. I've given this Terra-type Rock because I don't think it's a bad Terra to run on. It's a little bit of a surprise as well. I know you're sort of giving up a little bit of immunities there, but it's more for a surprise thing. You could go Terra Steel if you wanted as well, if you just want to get rid of that, actual weakness there. You could go Terra Flying as well to get rid of the ground weakness. That was another option. I was sort of going between Terras there. And yeah, so I'd either go Terra Rock, Steel. You could go Fighting if you wanted to as well. I've got Crunch in there as well. You could actually Terra-type Dark wouldn't be all that bad, I believe, on there as well. So that's another option that you could probably go for there for Terra. And I've given it Body Press too. Now, you're probably wondering why haven't given it Close Combat. Well, there is the option of giving it Close Combat. You can, but I don't like the fact that you drop your defense by, lowering your defense. You've already got like a boost there, so why not just use its defensive stat, which is almost as good as its physical. That's how I'm thinking about that. But you could run either one or the other two if you really want to run Close Combat, for sure. I've given this Jolly Nature, Max Attack and Max Speed, so you could go between the two there. You've got Body Press. As for physical moves, that's kind of where they are at Body Press, and you've got other things like Brick Break, but you're kind of losing a lot of base power there, so I probably wouldn't worry about it. It'd either be Close Combat or Body Press for sure. So yeah, maybe you want more base power for this sort of set, so you could run that. But I guess just bear in mind, the more you're going to spam that, it's not going to be as bulky on the obviously all-round bulk is not going to be as good after a bit. So that's sort of the drawback there. So that's how I'd run a physical sweeper for Crown. Let's have a look at this. Is absolute garbage, this set, but I wanted to do a bit of a meme set on the special side. So with 80 special attack, it really isn't the greatest Pokemon out there, but I wanted to see what I could do with it. So we've got Terra-type Water. Now, Terra-type Water actually isn't all that bad when you think about it, right? Because you are going to be weak to fire, so you could even run that on maybe the physical set too. Maybe you could pop on Terra Blast on there, or you could just have Terra Water for a swapping. Mainly, I feel like mainly with Zamazenta, this in general is like fire type moves. Even with like Zacian as well. They're sort of in the same realms there. So Terra Blast Water, we got Terra Water, Focus Miss, of course, for Stab. We got Steel Beam, so we got some nice high base power moves at least. And of course, we got Moon Blast to round it off there. I gave it Modest because it wasn't the greatest in the world in special attack and max speed. So there's a special meme Zamazenta set if you want to give it a go. I feel that's a good spread there. And Terra-type Water for a surprise on any fire-type Pokemon. Now, thinking of doubles, if you're using it in doubles, I would probably opt for another one of probably Zamazenta. I don't know. You could run this in doubles like a Rest Sleep Talker set. I'd probably go for something exact like this. I wouldn't adjust the EV. So if you're running that in doubles, you could absolutely work that. Or you could do a physical one as well. So both these work in singles and doubles, VGC, whatever, rule set you're playing there or when they're allowed to be used in there. Now, I feel that Zamazenta non-crown is actually better than the crown version. So let's have a look at the stats here to begin with here. So this does have a lot more in defense, of course. But this one, you're able to carry an item. So it allows for some extra stuff like choice items or, different items and stuff like that. So I believe they both are pretty good regardless, right? So we got 140 base versus 115 base and 115. So you lose a little bit of, a fair bit of defense and special defense there for sure. And then you've got a little bit more speed on the Zamazenta here. So that allows you to maybe turn it into a Choice Band or Choice Scarf Sweeper, which I feel is a little bit better because it's a little bit faster, right? So to make up for it, we've got 120 attack, so it's the same in attack. So you're speedier and you can hit harder, so you're allowed to hold a Choice Band here. So I've got Close Combat, which is going to be Stab. And you also lose that Steel typing as well. That's pretty much the difference there. So I've got Terra-type Fighting for Close Combat, which is going to hit very, very hard. We've got Crunch for any Ghost-type Pokemon. Iron Head for flinching. You could possibly run Heavy Slam on there if you wanted to as well. I like Iron Head because you got that flinch chance. For, fairy types, you could go for that. And we've got Stone Edge for pretty much just coverage reasons there for flying type Pokemon. And for sure, like being a fighting type, you're going to be very weak there to flying. And yeah, that gives you the best sort of all-round spread, in my opinion, for a physical sweeper for Zamazenta. So we got Jolly Nature, Max Attack, and Max Speed. EVs, and you could just dump the rest into special defense or defense, whatever tickles your fancy there. It doesn't matter too much for a sweeping Pokemon. And yeah, Terra Fighting, you could change it to Terra Dark if you wanted to, or Terra Steel. You go Terra Steel, Iron Head, so resist any of those flying moves. That could be an option too, but I don't know. I'd probably leave it at Fighting because you could get a really lot of damage off with close combat there for sure. Let's have a look at this as a body press set. This actually works pretty nicely, and you can run Chesto Berry on there, which differs from the Sleep Talk one I was talking about before. So with this one, you'd have to... You're sort of prone with this one if you don't run Sleep Talk on there. You'll be doing nothing for 2 turns. So that's why I quite like this one a little bit better, because you can hold an item, whether it be Chesto Berry or another item, maybe leftovers. So... This one I've run as special defensive, but as I was talking at the start, you can run it speedy too. So if you don't want to run it slow, you can run it speedy. But like, even with no speed EVs, it's pretty quick still. So we got max special defense and max health EVs, Careful Nature, or you want to run that. Or I like to always run max health on the body press sets. I never change that up, whether you're running singles or doubles and stuff like that. So we've got max speed, and I'd go Jolly on that one. It's quite fast with 138 base. So you got very nice stat there in speed. Now we've got Body Press, Iron Defense, which is pretty straightforward. Resto, Chesto, and we've got Heavy Slam for coverage. That's just a coverage move there. Say I'm thinking off the top of my head here, maybe like Enamorus or something like that, depending on what rule set you're playing. Like something like Enamorus would be annoying, so you could use like Heavy Slam against that. That would do some nice damage there, even with no like attack EV. So any ghost type Pokemon as well, you could at least hit them and do something to them. So yeah, you've got Chesto Berry. You could run Rest Sleep Talk as well. That's another option. You could even run Leftovers, but the thing about not having Chesto Berry and Rest is you're going to be sort of sitting there doing nothing for 2 turns, and you might get set up on. So that's why Chesto Berry could be an option. Last set we got here is a mixed meme. I'm going to go over a couple more sets, and we'll discuss some counters and teammates and stuff too. So this one, actually gets Howl as a boosting move, but most people probably wouldn't use Howl on this. We got Howl, so we're going to have this as a mix stacker. So we got Howl and Throat Spray. What that does is pretty much going to give you a workup, so a +1 in the move workup. It's not there anymore, but it's going to be the same thing. So we've got Howl and Throat Spray, so +1 in attack and special attack. We got Steel Beam for ginormous amounts of damage there. You can go Terra-type Steel as well. We've got Close Combat as a physical move, and we've got Snarl as well. So Terra-type Dark Snarl, and we're also going to activate Throat Spray with that too. So you've got a couple of ways of boosting that. It's a fun mix set. It's terrible, but if you want to try something out for a little bit of fun, you can go for that. I've given this one max special attack and max speed, Naive Nature. We don't want to drop attack or special attack. And I was like, well, we'll just drop the special defense a little bit. You could probably drop like, you could go Hasty and drop the defense a little bit, because it already gets a Dauntless Shield, so you could do that. And there we go, a mixed Zamazenta meme set. Now, obviously these ones are less competitive, but I've given you a bit of both here. As for viability, I'd say this and this are quite good. And I don't mind the physical sweeper as well, and the rest taught one's okay too. As for some, I'm thinking of good counters here. So I'm just going to be general here in counters depending on what rule set you're playing, because it can change. Let's get rid of this one for a sec. I'm just going to say you're running any of these sets. Some good... let's have a look at this. I want to bring Enamorus up. So, and I'm thinking really now, Enamorus is a really, really solid counter because it's fairy and flying. So it's going to heavily resist these body press variants. In fact, it's excellent for resisting them. So a great move to run on that, like to run is Heavy Slam, because it gives it very, very good coverage against that. It's going to hit it for neutral too. And I don't think Enamorus is a very heavy either, so it's going is going to do a fair bit of damage, especially if you've got Zamazenta crowned or stuff like that. So that could definitely be a good counter there. I'm thinking another annoying one. Say you've got Toxapex. That's another one that can sponge off those body presses and be really, really annoying. Another one too would be, of course, Dondozo. Because of Unaware, and it's going to, it's just going to be really, really annoying. So they'd be some good counters for that. I'm thinking Zapdos might be, I'm trying to think like legendaries like Pokemon. So we got like Zapdos, that might be annoying as well as a counter. Actually, it wouldn't be bad. I'm just thinking it wouldn't be bad as a partner either, because that would get rid of Toxapex and other annoying Pokemon like that being electric type. And yeah, you could have that as a partner, and it's quite a good counter as well. Another partner you might be able to run on there, thinking off the top, so like Landorus. So Landorus, yeah, you have like Landorus, that wouldn't be bad too as a partner, because that could just work well as a good partner there for sure. And you've got stuff like, actually Goldengo would be pretty good. So we got Goldengo. Sorry, I'm just thinking some thoughts off the top of my head here. So being a ghost type, that'd be okay. And that would kind of cover your weaknesses there. So any other like ghost type Pokemon getting around body press and annoying stuff like that, and you could use that as a partner too. So that could be something. The only bad thing is if you're running Zamazenta Crown, you'd have to watch out because they are both weak to fire. So that's another good like partner there. Corviknight, that'll make a good partner. Corviknight is such a good partner for a lot of Pokemon. So this might... The problem about this is if you set it in late game, trying to set up your iron defenses, or you're trying to set up right, it might be worn down a little bit from... Depending, this is more geared towards singles, what my statement here and stuff like that. So with Corviknight, it is... You get rid of any entry cases with Defog. It's got good typing too. It's flying and steel typing, so it definitely works in well for that. Especially because you've got flying moves coming your way here. That's going to be able to swap in nice and easy. Any other entry? Oh, Great Tusk. That would be another good one. Great Tusk, because that does get Rapid Spin. Yep, so we got Rapid Spin there. That would be another good one there for sure. Just has to watch out with its typing, but there'd be some other good partners there. So I've done some counters. I've done some partners. Let's do some final thoughts here. So, I mean, you could definitely run this in doubles for sure. It's a little bit... I feel like these sort of sets are better suited for singles, like these body press, iron defense sets. Like, I'm not saying they couldn't work, but they're a bit slow. Especially you got like two Pokemon attacking you at the same time. So you might find yourself be able to use this better in doubles. The Zamazenta Choice Band set, because you get immediate damage rather than setting up iron defenses. So there's that sort of argument as well, and same with these ones too. So same sort of thing applies there. Let's go a final look at Zamazenta's moves. We'll just do Zamazenta Crown, because... Yeah, so the status move that we've gone over this. Agility, I don't think there's much point using Agility. Iron Defense, we've gone over that. It does get Reflect and Light Screen, but you'd need to do that with a Zamazenta. If you wanted to do like a light clay set, you might be able to squeeze something out of that. It does get, another option you might have on here, it does get, I think it gets, it gets Wide Guard. So you might be able to put Wide Guard on here to get around any of those multi-target moves. So that's another option for doubles or VGC if you're running this in there, whatever rule set you're playing and stuff like that. So that could definitely be a great move there for doubles to get around those targeting moves. You might be able to make like a bulky set, like bulky Zamazenta, like support set. I think it gets, yeah, let's make like a full-on support set here. So we'll go really, really tanky. Actually, this is not bad. I'm just making this up on the spot. So we got Wide Guard, Helping Hand, Body Press. I might even go Speedy with it. You could go Speedy, but, you do get some priority with these moves. Body Press. So maybe we'll go Jolly. So you go Jolly here. That's actually pretty good. Like, that's not a bad support Pokemon. So got some good sort of stuff there. Or you could go, like, tanky maybe on the special defensive side, like we were running before. That could absolutely work as well. So a special defensive set, or you go like full on like bulky like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some... Yeah, you could go like full-on bulky on the defensive side, so you got immediate damage on body press. You do have a +1 there, so there's quite a few options that you could run for that, but this is like bulky support Zamazenta, and then you could run like heavy slam or behemoth bash. So there you go. That could actually be a decent support Zamazenta set, I would say, for doubles, absolutely doubles kind of focus set here. So I actually quite like that. That's quite nice. It's got some very, very good potential for sure. Let's go over some of the other moves that I actually missed there. I always like to go over every like scrap of moves that it gets. You got Substitute here. You might be able to squeeze that maybe onto a body press set if you're trying to set iron defenses up. That could work. You could get around any status moves. That's an option. Endure helping out. Oh, and Prison's kind of nice. So I had a good idea with Imprison. So say you've got like these choice band sets here or these body press sets. For the purposes of this, let's say we're going to do that rest set again. Let's say it's a singles or whatever. You can actually use Imprison, and you can completely shut the opponents down. Say if you use Imprison here, there's a good chance that opposing Zamazenta will have Iron Defense and Body Press, and possibly Rest as well. So you can potentially shut them down for the entire battle. It's great, like until you obviously swap that out. So that's pretty cool. So Imprison's a very, very unique move too that you might be able to make use in singles and even doubles as well. So just a bit of an extra suggestion there for you for that. Status move, pretty much gone over. I think it gets a couple of reigns and gets all of those kind of moves. There's nothing too much else here on the physical side. We've gone over pretty much everything here. It gets all the elemental fangs, but most of them are outclassed. It does get a couple get a couple of things. It does get Trailblaze, but I don't really think they're going to change much. It gets Metal Burst, which is kind of a surprise, but I don't know. You'd really have to get hit hard by a special, I'd say like a special fire move or ground move to really make use of Metal Burst, because it's quite a bulky Pokemon, right? So that's more memes, but yeah, and as a special, its special is very, very barren, and it's not really a special attacking Pokemon at all, so it gets very, very few special moves, that is for sure. But anyway, people, that's pretty much it for Zamazenta. I hope you enjoyed today's moveset guide. We did some movesets for competitive, some memes, some doubles, some singles, some extra thoughts. I think I've done a pretty thorough job here. Later on, I may as well do Zacian today as well. We'll do like a Zamazenta then Zacian to get both of them done. And yes, I'll catch you a little bit later on. If you enjoyed this, if you found this useful, leave a comment below. Drop a like on the video. If you're new here, hello. I do a lot of moveset guides. Check out the playlist and all those sort of things there. Peace out, people.